in 1977, which was before I was actually making records. And the first time I ever played it for people was at the 1977 Kerrville Folk Festival at the New Folk Council. And that day, people came up to me after I sang it and said, "Oh, that's a gun control song." And I argued with them because when I wrote this song, I had a whole trailer full of guns. And it was like the culture I grew up in. I grew up in Texas, hunting and fishing, and I was a hippie. My dad got called on the carpet because I was singing on the Channel 5 News, singing "Feel Like I'm Fixing to Die" rag on a flatbed truck in front of the Alamo, and it was a government employee. It didn't go over good, air traffic controller, didn't go over good with his bosses. But I just simply saw nothing incongruous, however, about being a peacenik with an arsenal in his house. Things change and evolve, hopefully. And in my case, what happened is it's been a little over 19 years ago, I had to sort of start my life all over again. And one of the first things that happened after I got clean and got out of jail was my ex-wife handed me a completely out of control teenage boy. You may have met him. And the first thing Justin did when he got back in my house was he went in my bedroom as soon as my back was turned, and he found the 14-shot 9mm pistol that I kept under my mattress. Now, all of my other guns were under lock and key, and this one I kept where I did because I was brought up to believe that if you wanted to protect yourself and your family, somebody came in your house and you needed one gun loaded and ready to go and where you could reach it. He found the gun, he hid it. I asked him where it was. He told me he didn't know. I knew he was lying. I still know he's lying. And I just didn't know. You're not doing your best parenting at 4.5 months clean. And the only plan I could come up with was to make sure that that Justin was where the gun wasn't. And so I called my brother, he came over, and we searched him, made sure he did not have the gun, and then we loaded him up in my truck. It was like trying to stuff a live deer into your vehicle. Then we took him out to a wilderness camp, they called it, in Hickman County, not too far from where I lived in Tennessee at the time. And I'm not proud of this. They were out there hiring those kids out, kids that had been in trouble like Justin. They were hiring them out for slave labor to the state at a profit. And and they're out there sleeping in tents and in January and charging their parents for it on top of that. And but I didn't know what else to do, so I just wrote him a check and I dropped him off. Now it was January. They were sleeping in tents, so about 4:30 the next morning, Justin called me and told me where the fucking gun was. I do not know what Justin learned from that experience. You'll have to ask him. But for myself, I haven't had a gun in my house since. And now when I sing the song,